So, as it turned out, you can't pause the recording, so I went and stopped it. And then I came and restarted it and twittered on for another 10 minutes making extra map points and came back and found that I couldn't find it. So I'm feeling a little annoyed. I've had to take some time to gather my senses again. It's quiet, the dog is now inside and sleeping. Let's do part 2, how to make more points. Well, unfortunately I already made them. I made this one. The first one I actually made was this one. Like that, Metrosideros excelsa. That's a very nice one. Let's make another one. These are all Metrosideros excelsa, but that's a specimen tree. So here we go. Add a marker. And there it is. I'm just going to drag the screen down a bit so I can see what I'm doing. This is, oops, you see I'm typing there and it's not in the box, which is a very annoying thing. Metrosideros excelsa. And I'm going to tab. Here we've got New Zealand Christmas tree. I'm going to call these a boundary tree. There's a whole line of them down here like that. I'm going to say it's about 8 meters, for example. Maybe we'll say it's 6 to 8 meters. I can't remember offhand. And it's in good condition. Oops, condition. And we do Shift Enter to make a new line. Didn't record its age, not worried about it. Initials and date. 18, please always date your work and identify yourself. 18/1/2024, it's good practice. As I said before, you can add a photograph here, but it's safer just to save your work at that point. You've saved the map point. Now we'll make it a tree point by giving it a color. Well, we're going to use that color. Now just say, for example, it was a slightly different color, because there are a lot of different colors of Metrosideros. And you were recording, being very particular, and you wanted to record it. It's being a different color. You even get ones which are this sort of color. You get variegated ones, and so let's just say, oops, let's get rid of those colors, I can't see. Let's make it that, a little bit different. And we're going to use that. Now these icons that I use, once you start using icons, they appear in this list here. And your list will get longer and longer based on how many and what was your most recent. So there we go. You've got your tree. And there it is over there. Another Metrosideros excelsa. Now I was going on about one of my favorite trees, Araucarias. We have a lot of them here. They're very, very prominent in the landscape. I think they're very significant trees, landscape heritage trees. And because they lean over, I was explaining that there are several species that come from South America. They're the sort of South American Gondwanaland relatives of our yellowwoods. We don't have anything like it here, so if you see these trees, they're exotic. But they are great coastal species, so I'm going on about it. And these ones lean over a lot. So where this tree is meeting the pavement is about there. I'm going to put my point. And this is, oops, see, you have to click in there in order to make your record. Araucaria columnaris. I sometimes get muddled up because, in my opinion, it should have been the other one should be pyramidalis, but it's heterophylla. Anyway, Araucaria columnaris, and this is Cook's pine, comes from the South Pacific, whereas nearby on another island, Norfolk Island, comes Araucaria heterophylla, which is the big upright one. But this one, Araucaria columnaris, is the one that leans, and if you wonder which way they're leaning not with the wind. They're actually leaning towards the equator, so they're leaning to the north, apparently. Very unusual feature. Cook's pine. And this particular one, that's its common name, that's a shift enter, it's a multi-stem. Because like so many of them, they actually snap off or they get cut off when they get too tall. It's multi-stem at the top. I'm going to say it's about 15 meters. I don't know for a fact. And let's say it's in moderate condition. I think, you know, these are the basics you can note. And once again, your initials and your date, 18/1/2024 in full, please. So please don't do it backwards like a South African ID, or do it with the month first like the Americans. It's the date, 18th of the 1st, 2024. And then we're going to save that before we lose it for some incredible reason. And just note here, this is just so you might not really understand how this works, but this map is actually not on your computer. It's in the cloud, as they say. Just check here, because if you watch here, sometimes you'll see it saving. And sometimes it doesn't work and you'll get an error message. And if you don't pay attention and you did an error message and save 20 records, you'll be quite annoyed to come back and find they're not there. And they will not be anyway. So just keep an eye on it, especially if you've got a bad connection or an old computer or something like that. Now let's go back here and change the style. Now most of these sort of conifers are in these color ranges. We don't really have blue spruces here. Well, that's not true. We have got Atlantic cedars and Lebanese cedars, and they I would put in this kind of teal color. I think that's a bit pale, so we're going to put it this dark green. And which symbol are we going to use? You know, we were looking at the tree symbols just now, and theoretically you would say it was this conifer tree symbol, but because it's a leaning conifer, I found this other symbol, which is actually a weather symbol for strong winds, a wind storm. Although we have those down here in the peninsula, southeasters all the time. So I'm going to use that one. Okay. And I mean, that's really unique. There's not a lot of choice, unfortunately, for tree symbols, but we just have to make the most of it. So you can press escape, or I'll just click the little crosses to close these. And now you can see here it is, Araucaria columnaris. I made one there before. You can see it's flashing up. If I click that one, it's jumped over there. If I click that one, it's showing that in the middle. If I click that, it'll bounce down to there. Okay. And I wanted to, I've done that. Now I've done that with you now. In part 2, I've done that with you. And what I did here was I added a garden. I used the area symbol. Well, that was a nice, good example there. Let's make another little garden here. Okay. Those of you who work on CAD and with landscape CAD, you'll know how to do this. You press line, add a line or shape. Okay. And we're just going to put our line here. We'll start there for argument's sake. There, click, click, click. I'm sort of going up to an imagined property edge. There's a sidewalk there and there. Okay, oops. When it joined, it made a polygon. Let's call this, oops, you see, you have to click in there, otherwise it doesn't type in there. It's very annoying. Connaught Park Lawn, or let's call it South, oops, this is how I do my labels, South Lawn. Okay, so this is the South Lawn, for want of something to say. South Lawn in a residential hotel. Don't have anything else to say about it. I could say it's in shift enter, good condition. This little place is always looking very beautiful. It's pretty upmarket. good condition. You can put full stops or not, that's a whole nother issue. I'll take these full stops away. And then Shift Enter, I'm just going to record my name here. Initials BE 18/1/2024. Please make sure you use a proper 0, not an O or a capital O. You'll have to do good typing here, please. Now, this is what comes up. This is actually a great feature. It gives you the area of that space. There it is. Wait, no, there it is. It's 0.04 hectares, and it's got a perimeter of 84 meters. So that's fun, isn't it? Very important for measuring. You might find this tool really useful if you don't have a proper site plan. As it's a lawn now, unlike my other example, I'm going to choose that color. And I'm just going to point out to you, just it took me a long time to work this out. When you've got polygons, there's an extra line of color here, these pale colors, which is quite nice. But I was looking for ages for a line. I couldn't understand it. Okay, you can change the polygon transparency. You can drag that up or down, and you can change the border width. I'll leave you to play with that. But once you change it here, you'll see what happens. But you can make it solid. This is kind of semi-transparent at the moment. So I'm going to close that. And that's what it looks like. I'm going to escape. Oops, I'm going to tap there. There's our little lawn. Now, let's say I didn't like that. Maybe I made it. I want to edit it. Click on it, press edit. Oops. Now you can't get onto that image, but if you close that carefully, you can move this around. Because I shouldn't really like where I put that point because I forgot about the sidewalk. I would say that's a little more accurate. Look, this is not very accurate. You can see that one is like not lining up. Now this is me. I try to be very accurate in my work. Now, because when you zoom in later, you'll see that it was quite wrong. Okay. So there's the Connaught Park South Lawn. You know the area. You know the perimeter, should you want to know that. Generally not used. And you could make it different colors. In reality, you can see this is brick paving, this is lawn, this is tar, these are roofs, these are tiled roofs, these are probably asbestos roofs and all different kinds of roofs. This is lawn, this is what a lawn looks like in Fishhook. Not very bright. Okay, those of you not so familiar with looking at aerial photographs might find this quite confusing, map reading. But for people in the industry who are used to drawing plans, looking at aerial photos, you'll understand this. This is the railway line. This is the car park area. There's another palm tree. Okay, so I've succeeded now in showing you how to make a few map points which are tree points. There was one landscape feature that I happened to record, which is that lawn. You might want to record a rock or a staircase, you know, and if we're talking about landscape heritage, we're generally looking at older features. You could say anything from 40 years plus, or you could even say anything from the 20th century. It doesn't really matter. You might be on a landscape and not really know the ages. You guess they're about 100 years old or 80 years old. You just want to record it. You could draw a line. You don't have to draw an area. You could just draw a line and you can make it thick or thin. Maybe I'll draw one line for you. Let's say we wanted to draw a line. What line should we draw here? Let's just say, for argument's sake, we want to record this railway line here. It's a curve, so you're gonna have to break this down. Oops, it's moving. Okay, I don't want to go on forever. And I'll then do a double click to close it. And I'm going to call that the, oops, so annoying. I always have to click on that box, railway line. Okay, this is the railway historic, definitely. Let's say it's circa early 20th century. I don't know, I can never remember facts and figures. BE 18/1/2024. Let's save it quickly. Oops, now let's change the color of that just for argument's sake. It's black. Let's make it, should we leave it black? Well, let's just change it for argument's sake. We'll make it gray. Charcoal, and let's change the line width. Can you see it changing over there? Okay, now I made it a nice, let's just make it yellow. Can you see that? Red, black, brown, doesn't matter. I'll leave it as gray. Let's make it light gray. Okay. Now it's over here, railway line, but it might be another line that you wanted to record. It could have been a stone wall, for example, if we're thinking of landscape. I'm going to close it off here. I just want to show you, I got up in a bit of a muddle. It's very good. I'm going to click on there to put a date for your map title, because you might sort of make another tree map and call it the same thing, and you'll find it quite hard to tell the difference. So just give it a date there. I do my I do my dates backwards like that, but that's because of Mac. You could put there January 2024, and I'm just going to say that this is a test map for LHSA tree mappers, just so you know what it is. So now you know how to make a map, you know how to open it, how to create a map, how to map some basic points, and you might, this is mainly aimed at mapping trees, which are the most significant feature in landscapes, but you could map the area of the landscape like I did here, the garden. I don't know the name of the garden, and you know, I went on to say that this could be an area of trees. Say it was a little woodlot, we might often get a lot of gums, or it could be a mixed woodland area. Could be a whole lot of trees. Could be a lawn. Well, we did that example there. It could be an erosion area. It could be a burnt area that you're recording, whatever. So you can use it to map any kind of area that you might wish to map for some reason. It might be a proposed rehabilitation area. So here's our map now. Let's zoom out, and you can see what it now looks like. Now let's have a check. Let's check. You can see there are lots of trees here. This is why we need your help, and we're calling this citizen heritage, citizen landscape heritage. Like you get citizen science, so you're going to become a citizen or citizen scientist, a citizen treeist, or a citizen landscapeist. Those are some words I've just been playing around with. You can change your base map. Say you have a look around, see what these maps look like. There's some, you know, pretty nice looking ones which you can use later on when you're trying to share your map, if you want to like show it at a conference or just share it with people. And you can play with the styles. This is the basic one. This is okay, that's not showing any difference there, but that probably would show a difference if you zoomed out. So I'll just leave it on the basic one here, and I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for paying attention. I'm probably going to make some more videos, but this is part 2 of how to make your own tree map, and I think you should be able to do it now.